So just yesterday, we got a brand new surprise trailer for Pokemon Legends Arceus, and this trailer focused on introducing us to some of the new characters that we're going to be meeting in this game, and two of them in particular caught a lot of people's attention because not only do they look really interesting, but they also very much seem like they're going to play a very big role within the story of Legends Arceus. And I am here to tell you guys today that not only are these characters most likely going to play a very important role in the story of Legends, but they're also probably hiding a very big secret in terms of just how big that role is going to be. Uncovering what that secret could possibly be is what today's video is all about, which is all made possible by the support of today's wonderful sponsor, UCast Studios, who I run my Pokemon podcast with, and Moorpark College. Okay, so getting back into Legends Arceus now, the two characters that I am referring to and going to be talking about in this video are Adaman and Irida, and they are the leaders of the Diamond Clan and the Pearl Clan. The Diamond Clan and the Pearl Clan are also things that were introduced in this trailer, and they're basically two tribes of people that seem to be native to the Hisui region that basically rival against each other and are also themed around Dialga and Palkia. So right off the bat, what makes Adaman and Irida so interesting is that we obviously already know that they're going to have some tie to Dialga and Palkia respectively, but it's just how close of a tie and what that tie is actually going to entail that we want to try and uncover today. One very big thing about these characters that we can pretty much already say is going to be a thing is that they are very likely in possession of the adamant and lustrous orbs that Dialga and Palkia are known to carry. Not only does it make sense for two tribes of people that seem to worship these Pokemon, but it even seems like Adaman and Irida are directly in possession of the adamant and lustrous orbs themselves, and are in fact wearing them. If you look at the artwork of these two characters, you'll notice that they're wearing some jewelry around their necks, and these necklaces both have a distinctive gem within them, a more diamond-looking gem for Adaman, and a more pearl-looking gem for Irida. Given these two characters and their respective clans' very close association with Dialga and Palkia, it is very, very possible, and I would even say likely, that these gems within the necklaces that these two characters are wearing could actually be the adamant and lustrous orbs themselves. And this seems to be even more likely when you realize that Adaman's name actually comes from adamant, as in the adamant orb itself. Now, this doesn't apply as directly for Irida as it does for Adaman, because her name's not Lustor or Lustria or something like that, but her name does come from iridescence, which refers to something that looks like it has a rainbow color to it when looked at from various angles, which can apply to pearls. So this is most likely just an artistic choice for her name, because they didn't want to name her Lustor or Lustria or something like that. So overall, the same is most likely true for Irida as well, in that this jewel that she's wearing around her neck is very, very possibly the lustrous orb itself. These two characters also theme themselves around time and space, just like Dialga and Palkia do. If you look at Adaman's in-game dialogue and read up on him on the Legends website, it talks about how he's a very timely person and he doesn't like to waste time or anything like that. And Irida's description on the website talks about how she thinks it's important to face the vast Hisui region, which could go along with a theme of space when you're talking about a large area and exploring the space within it. So in short, Adaman and Irida are very, very closely connected to Dialga and Palkia, and they're going to be very closely connected to how Dialga and Palkia integrate into the overall story of this game. Because even though it's Pokemon Legends Arceus, you know those two are going to have a big role to play. There was also an official tweet made by Nintendo of America talking about the Diamond and Pearl clans that these two characters lead in this game, and it specifically stated how they both worship a deity known as the Almighty Sinnoh, but they each have different interpretations of this deity, which causes them to fight. This would obviously imply that one worships Dialga as the Almighty Sinnoh and the other worships Palkia as the Almighty Sinnoh, but where exactly does Arceus come into play here? Because we all know that Arceus is the true creator deity and Dialga and Palkia simply just helped out as its faithful servants. Well, maybe that could be a part of this game and why Arceus reveals itself, because these two clans are busy worshipping Dialga and Palkia as the almighty god, when in fact it's actually Arceus, so maybe Arceus decides to make itself a little more well known to the people so they can actually worship who is really responsible for their creation. That's one idea, but another idea that a lot of people have been throwing around for this game that now becomes especially prevalent given what was just revealed in this trailer is the idea of new forms for Dialga and Palkia. There's no evidence of this actually happening at this time, but given that Legends Arceus is kind of taking the role of a more traditional Pokemon remake in that it's introducing new content themed around the Sinnoh games, it's reasonable to conclude that new forms for Dialga and Palkia, like the new forms we saw for Groudon and Kyogre in Oraz, could be possible. The new forms for Groudon and Kyogre in the Oraz remakes were in fact caused by orbs themselves, so who's to say that the Lustrous and Adamant orbs couldn't do the same thing for Dialga and Palkia, especially if they are in the possession or were even created by the Diamond and Pearl clan. These orbs don't exactly give these Pokemon a new form in the original Sinnoh games, or even the Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl remakes, but they do power up the Pokemon, so this could very easily be retconned or adjusted to just give these Pokemon completely new forms in Legends Arceus, and worry about explaining the discrepancy later, or possibly even just retcon it entirely. I could very much see a scenario where the Diamond and Pearl clans, in a desire to make their almighty gods even more almighty, come into possession of the Lustrous and Adamant orbs in some way, and eventually give them to Dialga and Palkia, which causes them to turn into brand new and all-powerful forms. There's even been some ideas thrown around that there could be a new Pokemon, essentially, that combines these two together, and this is where that combined Dialga and Palkia statue comes from that resides in Eterna City that we see in the original Diamond and Pearl games and the remakes, but it ultimately doesn't amount to an actual Pokemon. That would be really, really crazy if it actually happened, and there's no evidence to support it at this time, so take it with a huge grain of salt, but personally, I could actually see this as a possibility, because Game Freak has a pretty consistent track record of desperately wanting to include Pokemon Fusion in their games in some way, whether it's with Black and White QREM or the very likely failed or ditched at the last second attempt to include Pokemon Human Fusion in Pokemon Sun and Moon. I have a whole theory about it which you can check out with the card on screen, but there's a lot of evidence in support of that, and we even had it in the Crown Tundra expansion for Sword and Shield with the two different forms of Calyrex. So this has proven to be something that Game Freak is very keen on incorporating in their games, and a fused form of Dialga and Palkia could very well be another attempt at that. If anything remotely resembling that were actually the case though, what would it mean for Arceus? Would it be getting a new form as well? Well, probably, because as we saw in Oraz, Rayquaza got a form just like Kyogre and Groudon did, so Arceus probably would as well, given that its name is also in the title of the game and it's the main box art legendary. If Dialga and Palkia are getting a form, then we can pretty safely assume that Arceus is also going to get some kind of form as well. And given that the fourth member of this quartet, Giratina, already has an additional form of its own in its origin form, I could very much see it being the case that the new forms that these Pokemon are going to get, at the very least concerning Dialga and Palkia, are in fact going to be origin forms just like Giratina, which is another idea I brought up in a previous video. Whatever the case may be though, Adaman and Irida and their Diamond and Pearl clans just made Legends Arceus a heck of a lot more interesting, especially as it concerns Dialga and Palkia specifically. What do you guys think about all this information though? Do you believe that Adaman and Irida are actually wearing the adamant and lustrous orbs around their necks? Do you believe that these orbs could ultimately result in brand new forms for Dialga and Palkia? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe if you're new for more videos just like this. With that being said though, I'll be back with another video very soon, and until then, as always, thank you guys so much for watching, I love you very much, and I will smell you guys later.